Hello, and welcome back, dear viewers. Ziggy's here, and we're fresh out of our vacation. It's still delightfully warm here, making it hard to motivate ourselves to turn on the computer. But with so many exciting updates in the world of AI-generated images, we just couldn't wait any longer to share them all with you.
Hallo, Grüße auch von mir, eure deutsche Ziggy, the Chairman one.
Hey there, viewers. I'm sure you've heard about the recent release of the much-awaited Flux models. They've been causing a whirlwind of excitement in the AI-generated image community, and for good reason. To learn more about Flux, you can check out the link provided below this video. It's fantastic that Murphy has already adjusted the automatic workflow to include these incredible models. With Flux, we're opening up a whole new world of creative possibilities for AI-generated images. Despite the initial excitement surrounding Flux models, we've discovered that they require quite a significant amount of VRAM and working memory, which has unfortunately dampened some of the enthusiasm for many users. While Flux models undoubtedly offer impressive capabilities, it's essential to consider the resources needed to fully utilize them. But hey, where there's a will, there's a way, right? To make things even simpler, these example images come with workflows that you can download and drag and drop right into Comfy. No fuss, no hassle, just pure creativity. Something is wrong with the node since the last update. Murphy has already told the creator, maybe the problem is already solved when you watch the video, we'll just delete it now. Everything else except the picture-to-story analysis will still work. To make things even easier for you, I recommend downloading the Flux models directly from the Comfy Manager. Simply head over to the Model Manager, search for Flux, and select the model you'd like to use. You need at least one of the T5 language models developed by Google. These are pure encoder models. Overall, you need a lot of RAM and a lot of hard disk space for Flux. If you have space, use the FB16 with around 10 GB. If not, the FP8 with around half that. For conventional use, you also need the VE model and the giant Flux.schnell model.
But there is a cool alternative. Just one model where everything is already integrated. Approx. 17 GB in size and you don't need anything else.
Absolutely, dear sister. You're spot on. There's an option to explore Flux's capabilities with just a single model. By doing so, you'll consume less VRAM and RAM, and even save some storage space on your hard drive. If this sounds appealing, we recommend trying out the comfyorg/flux.1 dev checkpoint model FP8. This model will give you a taste of Flux's impressive features while keeping resource usage manageable. We'd like to give you a quick overview of each variant available, so you can make an informed decision based on your hardware and storage capacity. Lucky for us, Murphy has been testing various options on his new computer, equipped with a powerful RTX 4080 GPU, and now we get to share the results with you. So, if storage space isn't a major concern, check out the following selection of models we've had a bit of a play with. Another essential model you'll need to make the most of Flux is the ClipL model. If you don't have it installed yet, no worries. Just search for Clip in the Model Manager and select the appropriate model. This will ensure that you have all the necessary components for a seamless and enjoyable experience with Flux. If you're eager to dive even deeper into the world of Flux, be sure to check out the pages from Blackforestlabs and their GitHub page. There, you'll find more detailed information and resources, including the option to download the impressive Flux.1 dev model, which, in our opinion, is currently the best choice for local use. Please keep in mind that this model is not intended for commercial use. While the Flux.1 dev model offers an incredible range of capabilities and produces stunning results, it's essential to respect the creator's licensing terms and use it solely for personal and non-commercial purposes. Alright, enough theory. Let's jump back into action. Remember those example images with integrated workflows we showed you earlier? Here are the downloads for you to follow along. First, make sure to launch Comfy Clear, and then drag the first image onto the Comfy user interface to get started. We'll kick things off with the Flux Schnell checkpoint workflow. To get started with this workflow, simply select the Flux Schnell checkpoint from the available options and hit the Prompt button. From there, sit back and watch as Flux works its magic to generate an incredible AI-generated image right before your eyes. As you can see, the image generated by Flux Schnell checkpoint workflow is a perfect match to the example provided. Now, let's take a look at the workflow featuring the Flux Dev checkpoint. This option provides a great balance between performance and resource usage, making it a solid choice for a variety of projects. Just like before, all you have to do is select the appropriate Flux Dev checkpoint and get started. And between us, this variant is probably our favorite. It delivers excellent results without sacrificing too much in terms of creation time. Plus, the time required for generating images shortens even further starting from the second image, making it our absolute sweet spot.
I prefer using the SDXL models created by Professor Aureti, such as the Cheyenne and Mohawk models. While these aren't Flux models, they require significantly fewer resources. So, if you're looking for an alternative that's more resource efficient, give these SDXL models a shot.
We did it! Check out the result. It's amazing, isn't it? And it's a perfect match to the example image. Score! Now we're going to tackle the original Flux models. First up is Flux Schnell, which takes a bit too long for our liking. But don't worry, we have a tip for you to speed things up. Let's bring up the console so you can see how long this process takes. Even though the second image calculates faster, it might be a bit slow for us. But if you have an RTX 4090 with 64 GB of RAM, it should be quicker. Who knows? Maybe some of you are lucky enough to have such powerful hardware. As you can see, we had to load the original model using the UNet loader, and additionally include the two clip models and the VAE model. But once that's done, everything should run smoothly. However, depending on your hardware, the generation process might take a while. We wouldn't recommend using this variant if your system has less than 16 GB VRAM and 32 GB RAM, as it is pretty resource intensive.
And another perfect match.
For the next variant, we can only show you a still image. We believe our 32 GB RAM isn't enough to run the workflow and record video simultaneously. Unfortunately, the computer couldn't handle it, and we had to abort after 15 minutes. Looks like Murphy has another reason to upgrade to 64 GB RAM. In his day job as a 3D CAD designer, he also requires 64 GB RAM, which his work laptop has, but the specialized graphics card in it doesn't have enough VRAM for Flux models. Here's the result of our experiment, along with the time it took to generate this image. The quality is outstanding, just like the template. Keep in mind that only Comfy was running on the computer and nothing else, yet the image generation took almost 3 minutes. Stay tuned, things are about to get more interesting.
Pay attention to the hands and the cake in the picture.
Now we're going to use the same workflow, but we'll make a change that reduces the memory requirements and speeds up the generation process. We're excited to show you this live, so you can see the difference in action. The only adjustment we've made is switching the weight_D type to FP8_E4M3FN. This simple tweak can make a significant difference in performance, so keep that in mind when working with Flux. For clip, we'll keep the setting at FP16. In our experience, changing this didn't yield significant improvements, so we recommend sticking with FP16 for optimal results. Oops, one more thing. Don't forget to select the corresponding VE model as .sft. Alright, it's showtime. Keep your eyes on the screen, and let's see the magic unfold as we put the adjusted Flux workflow into action. Whether you decide to use this adjusted variant or opt for the checkpoint model, the choice is entirely up to you. We haven't conducted enough tests to definitively say which approach works better, so we encourage you to try out both and see which one suits your needs best. Remember, there's always more to explore in the world of Flux. As you can see, this tweaked Flux workflow runs noticeably faster than before. That's the beauty of experimentation. Sometimes, a small change can make a big difference in performance. Sometimes, achieving faster results means making some compromises. It's all about finding that sweet spot between speed and quality, and that's what we're exploring here.
Yes, now it's time to look at the differences between the hens and the cake. When it comes to generating perfect hens, this version is unfortunately not so perfect after all. We show you a good example at the end of the video to prove this assertion.
Unfortunately, you may notice that these images aren't as identical to the original as before. However, that's the price we pay for faster generation times. Attention, everyone! Starting on August 15th, the Comfy front-end will undergo some changes. While these updates will bring many benefits, Murphy has some concerns about the Rank 3 nodes he uses in his workflows. He anticipates that some adjustments might be necessary. Because of this, Murphy has only adapted the base workflow for now. However, the ComfyOrg team is working hard to address all concerns. We will be using two separate Comfy systems for a transitional period, one that we will keep up to date, and one that we will no longer update from August 15th. Of course, we need enough hard disk space for this. We will let you know our experiences. The world keeps turning, and we are trying to keep up as quickly as possible. For more details, check out the link provided in the manager. We'll also be posting the link below this video, so you'll have easy access to all the information you need. We are aware of a reported issue with context big nodes, specifically with regard to context inputs. The Comfy development team is actively working to resolve these issues. For now, please be patient while the developers resolve these issues and continue to improve the ComfyUI experience. Thank you for your understanding and patience. Now, let's dive into what the new workflow has to offer. Despite the anticipated adjustments needed for compatibility with the upcoming front-end changes on August 15th, you'll be pleasantly surprised by the enhancements and capabilities that this workflow brings to the table. For our first run, we'll be using the SDXL Cayenne model, paired with the Inspire base sampler. These tools are designed to generate detailed, high-quality images from your prompts. Keep in mind that you might need to experiment with the settings to get the best results, but trust me, the effort will pay off.
Wow, but that already worked with the old workflow. What's new now?
Oh Ziggy sis, check this out! You can now easily switch to the custom advanced sampler for SDXL models. This works especially well for models that don't require a refiner, giving you even more options to create stunning images.
Geil! Hier können Sie auch die LoRa's und Controlnet verwenden.
Next up, we're going to explore the capabilities of the Flux model, an advanced, open-source text-to-image model. Let's switch to the Flux checkpoint. You now need to select the checkpoint and settings via the light green nodes. You can use your usual techniques for prompting, but note that negative prompts are not supported. The workflow automatically sets CFG to 1, which is also required for Flux, so your input will not be taken into account anyway. Use styler groups as usual, and you can also swap them as before, including Magic Prompt and prompting via Blip. If the Blip node doesn't work yet, try Deep Danborough instead. To keep things moving, we'll speed up the video when processes start taking longer. We want to make sure you stay engaged and entertained without getting bogged down by long waiting times.
Wow. Ooh. Cool.
Alright, let's run the workflow again, using the Flux Dev checkpoint. We'll just change the seed and let it roll. Woohoo! I must say, this is working out great. I'm excited. Let's give the Flux Schnell checkpoint a try. Be aware that you'll need to follow specific guidelines for the best results. Only the Euler sampler and a few schedulers, like Simple, are supported. We also recommend using more than the suggested 4 steps to get the most out of this model. Okay, the hands could be better, but otherwise it looks good too. Now, let's go back to using the original Flux Schnell model without the safe tensor checkpoint adjustments. We want to show you how it performs in its default state.
Schwester, sis. First one off. Then the other on, otherwise you will switch off the sampler.
Yes, sis. I'll correct that later. Just to clarify, the green customized sampler node will work for all your experiments with this sampler, including SDXL, Flux with checkpoint, and Flux Direct. In this group, you'll need to load the specific models you want to use with Flux Direct. By default, we've set it to the flux.dev model with FP8 to avoid overwhelming our computer. However, advanced users with high-end systems can switch to the default settings if their machines can handle it. Now that we've switched to the Flux Schnell model, you can immediately see the difference compared to the checkpoint version. And sis, I've corrected my mistake. The sampler is now enabled. Thanks for noticing. Alright folks, here we go. Let's get this workflow started and see what Flux Schnell Direct can do.
Boom. Schagalaga, fertig ist der Lack. Well, is that better now? The FP8 does lose some of its quality. Hey sis. Try the other FP8 setting and see what happens.
Okay, I'll do as you tell me. Let's make a quick adjustment. Let's switch to the other FP8 setting and see how that affects our results.
Nah. Better, I think it looks better.
Matter of taste, sis. Before we dive into the last model, here's a tip. In our experience, using the FP8 setting for Clip 1 with Google T5 V1 didn't perform as well as FP16, and didn't offer any noticeable speed improvements in our environment. We won't be using FP8 for this application, unless someone provides a compelling reason to do so. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, let's give the original Flux Dev model a spin and see what it's capable of.
Don't forget. Steps 20.
For this step, let's select the Flux 1 dev.sft model. If you're using an RTX 4090 with 64 GB of RAM, you can set the wait_d type to the default setting. For everyone else, Only use the default setting if you have plenty of time to spare. It might take a big while. Here's an opportunity for some crowdsourced experimentation. Try out the various FP8 clip models and see which one performs best in your workflow. Share your results in the comments so we can all learn from each other's experiences. Generating an image in 40 seconds is still pretty good, even though the initial model loading adds another 50 seconds. Keep in mind that we're using a fairly powerful setup with an RTX 4080 and 32GB VRAM. Oh, and if you decide not to use Flux, simply turn it off. It won't consume additional resources when disabled. Alternatively, you can delete the Flux-related groups, and the workflow should still function as intended.
Nice picture, sister. Let's play some more and have fun with the spectators.
We'll continue to experiment with different stylers, and if we come across an image that really stands out, we'll enable an upscaler. Embrace the element of surprise, and have fun with it. Remember to like this video if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you haven't already. It's free, and doesn't commit you to anything. We always love hearing from you in the comments, even if it's constructive criticism.
Look sis. A picture of me. From the good old days. Bye dear viewers, see you soon.
Take care, friends. Until next time, enjoy the rest of the video, and keep exploring the fascinating world of image generation. Bye! That's a wrap for today, folks. Farewell and happy creating.